Good morning and hello. My name is Russ and I am the host of Big Agent Meeting. Today, we've got a show lined up for you. We got a bunch of things going a bunch of different directions. You're going to love what we got for you. We've got some stuff on market. We got some stuff on business. We got some stuff on CRMs. So you guys want to stay tuned because today is an action-packed, full throttle, full contact day with Big Agent Meeting. So to kick it off, I'm going to start right off with Market Minute, and we're going to keep this really short and sweet. I'm going to actually talk about attraction a little bit. One of the things that we talk about all the time is houses equal money. Trade time for money, sell a house, you get paid, sell a house, you get paid, sell a house, you get paid. And then a lot of people are talking about this and want to be at EXP because they're like, the people equals money. So the problem we have sometimes when we're having this conversation is like, I don't want to distract myself from this to do this because I don't want that to go down, because for most of us, we just need to sell more houses, right? So if somebody says, hey, I want you to distract 20% of your time to work on doing the attraction part, a lot of you guys will say like, but I don't want to put 80% into my business because my business is already not making enough money to be able to pay the bills there. So I don't want to distract myself from that. And I'll tell you right now, I don't want you to distract yourself from that either. So I don't want you to look at it as a separate business in a separate bucket. I want you to start looking at it as a vertical integration. So I want you to spend 100% of your time on doing the house sale thing. And in the process of doing that, I want you to start saying, hey, there are real estate agents around when I'm doing these deals. There's real estate agents around. So all of the things that you do and all the things that I teach you to do to send to your sphere of influence, we're talking about doing market updates. Make sure every single person that is a real estate agent that you know gets a market update too every single month. Because what we know is that these people, a lot of times they don't know what's going on in the market. And if you become the resource for them to have good market info, then you have the ability to actually be their expert. And when something changes in their world, guess who they start to call? They call the person that they see as their expert. So instead of looking at attraction as a separate business, look at it as a vertical integration. This is just like going to McDonald's. McDonald's has hamburgers, and they also have fries, and they also have Cokes. So when you're looking at this type of business style, they're already there because of the hamburger. You might as well sell them some French fries. And by the way, McDonald's makes more money on their French fries and Coke than they do on anything else in the building. So think of attraction as a vertical integration. And if you haven't already seen Faster Track going on, that's starting on Monday next week for the first round for the beta. If you guys didn't get into the first round, start thinking, I need to get into Faster Track, where we teach a lot of techniques on how to build this into your business. So if you missed the first round, get ready for the second round. It's going to be coming up a couple months down the road. Get into Faster Track. So there you go, Market Minute for June 20th, Friday. Next up, we have the one and only Ian Wheatley talking about KGCI Radio. Ian, take it away, brother.
Thanks for popping by Big Agent Meeting to KGCI Real Estate On Air. There are agents in your market right now closing deals you should be getting. And the only reason they're winning is because people know their name. And maybe you're thinking, well, Ian, I'm not a content creator, or I don't want to dance on a silly reel. But here's the truth. Personal branding isn't about going viral. It's about being visible. And if people don't know you, they can't work with you. And if the only time your name shows up is when you're making a call, unfortunately, you're just another sales pitch in their inbox. And the agents who build a brand are the agents that build trust well before that first conversation. Coming up after the Big Agent Meeting on KGCI Real Estate On Air, we are diving into a special Friday focus all about unpacking what you can start doing today to become the agent everyone knows and no one forgets. It starts with Tuesday's Real Estate On Air Live, where I sat down with Gogo, Bethke, Tina Beliveau, and Sarah Delancic to talk through exactly how they build brands that convert from their Facebook profiles to Instagram groups to podcasts and beyond. And that's just the first hour of today's Friday Focus. The rest of the day has insights from Ricky Carruth, John Kitchens, and many more of real estate's top influencers and eXp Realty's top agents giving you their branding playbook. And if you want to hear it all, but can't listen for the next 6 to 8 hours straight, scan this QR code on your screen right now. You'll get instant access to the KGCI Real Estate On Air podcast archive, and we'll be posting episodes there all day long from today's Friday Focus, as well as our mobile app packed with nonstop content and strategy 24/7, 365, all for free from KGCI Real Estate On Air.
All right. Thank you very much, Ian. Always. Man, that guy's so smooth the way he talks. You should put him on the radio. Total radio guy, right? I love that. All right. So next up, brokerage update, talking about what's going on in the brokerage, information you need to know about your business. Holly Mabery, you're up. Go for it.
Good morning, everybody. I love breaking down the market events of the week and everything that's been going on. Well, this week has been no different. On Wednesday, the Federal Reserve met and they're holding steady, which is not really a surprise. We really anticipated that there would not be a rate cut in June. And the Fed is signaling if they do any rate cuts, it won't likely come until September at the earliest. Now, what's driving behind all of this? It's really around inflation. And while inflation came down in April and May, it's still not hitting that 2% mark. And that makes a difference as we go forward. So how do you and I work knowing the Fed's not going to take action? Interest rates are likely to stay in the high sixes, definitely through the end of the year. This is where I want you to embrace the market and mindset, and it's a complete paradigm shift. We are starting to see inventories rise across the US, and we're getting to more equilibrium, if not in some areas, and price ranges or property types, more of a buyer's market. So this is something that I want you to take a look at. This actually came from Redfin, and there's about 500,000 more sellers than buyers. This is for the first time in many years. Now, what does this mean to you and me? And when I say many years, I'm going back to 2013. This is a completely different market as far as sellers needing to be more aggressive, more thoughtful as they go forward. The drivers in all of this really come down to three things. Cost and expense for buyers, right? The interest rate we've already talked about, that's staying higher, but also the cost of ownership. We're seeing insurance rates rise. And this is something you and I have been talking about the last few weeks. Homeowners insurance, property owners insurance, community insurance, those are all higher right now because of the large natural disaster or events that have been happening the last few years. Not just the forest fires, not just the hurricanes. We're talking like flooding and hail damage across the Midwest. Now, mortgage rate lock and unlock. This is what's interesting. A lot of those sellers who were locked in at that 3% sweet spot mortgage rate, they're not married to it anymore. Life has changed in such a way that they're ready to move on. And that's something for you and I to be aware of. They're looking to take advantage of how their lifestyle has changed. Maybe they need to get back to the office. Maybe health has changed. Maybe they're having a baby. So they're putting that property on the market. Now, balance this with a good, healthy dose of economic uncertainty. This is everything from the tariffs to a little bit of not certain what's going on government-wise with regulation and things of that nature. People are just taking a moment. And what was so interesting in a recent Redfin study, that 1 out of 4 consumers, they're putting themselves on the sidelines for any big purchases. So as you and I start to move forward, it becomes really important that we really look at that seller mind shift, right? Competition is definitely increasing. And so when we're having these conversations, I want you to break it down. Where they price is going to matter. It could be that wholesale, that retail with some improvements, or that retail with all the improvements or fixes. But also, what are the terms they're offering? Maybe they're offering to pay a buyer compensation. Maybe they are offering to pay home warranty or prepaids or an interest rate buy down. Those strategies are going to become really, really important. And this is where, when you're going to meet with the seller for the first time, understanding what's happened in the market, not just price, but the terms and conditions that are really drivers to getting their house sold. Now, as a buyer's agent, I'm going to be coming at this slightly differently. I'm looking for, hey, what are the terms and conditions, but also what are the strategies my buyer should be taking advantage of? Depending on their price range, depending on the property type, what kinds of negotiations are out there for me? Definitely rate buy down, but I also want them aware of all the different loan types. They may qualify for a conventional because the amount of down payment, but it might make more sense for them to go FHA and buy that rate down. It just depends. It also, how is their VA entitlement? What can they get? What can they do? Those are really cool options. Now, this is another piece that I want to put in your back pocket as you go forward, because a lot of new home sales, it has actually crossed over what's happening in resale. And the reason I bring this up is prices are coming down on new homes. I know it sounds a little bit crazy, but new home sales are definitely picking up, and we're seeing that across the country. What's interesting on builders, They have the lowest sentiment since 2022, and they really need to get these properties sold. So they are incentivizing, they're offering discounts, upgraded packages, all of that. So let's talk about your skill, focus, and strategy. Market translator. I don't want you to just open doors. I want you to translate what's going on in the market and customize it to that client. It's going to make a huge difference. I want you to elevate that seller positioning. And when you go in to meet with the seller for the first time, it's so critical. Break down how their house is positioned in the market, who those buyers are, and how you reach them best. And this could be differentiation in your marketing strategy, but also the words that you use and things that you say. That negotiation mindset that you have needs to start from the first time you hit that front door and you're talking to your seller, but also with your buyer. I want you to walk through that buffet of offerings that you have that you can bring together to help them find the best property for their family at the best price, terms, and condition. And then finally, I want you to think about your expanded value chain. What does this mean? Well, it's that sale after the service after the sale. What do you do to bring people together? If you're truly a community connector, and that's really where realtors have always been, but as a professional agent in this market, that extended value chain, I want you to be talking about it. Who do you know that can help them fix things, that can come in, clean the house regularly, update the landscaping? And also, I want you to have an investor's mindset. I want you to be talking about, hey, if you own multiple properties, maybe there's a strategy for refinancing. Maybe there's a strategy for how you leverage and buy more properties. These are ways that you can show your inherent value as you go forward. Also, graduations just happened. And what I love is kiddie condo loans and assisting parents in buying a condo where their kid is going to school, but the kid goes on the note first and the parent co-signs, becomes an investment for the parent. It's an FHA loan for the child, and the child gets to start their credit history. There's a lot of really cool things you can do that you start to expand your value profile. So when you think about how we go forward together, bring it all together. Bring your skill and strategy and start accentuating that positive. And with that, guys, I'll have more for you next week. Russ, back to you.
All right, there you go. Holly, thank you as always. Great information coming from you that you guys can use and need to know for your business. Okay, so earlier today, I was actually able to record a video with a guy named Alex Coté. He is actually the CMO, Chief Marketing Officer of the CRM called Cloze. CRM of choice is here. So recorded a video with him talking about what is Cloze all about and how that applies to you. You guys want to see this. Check this one out. All right. Hey, today we've got a special guest today. As you guys all know, CRM of choice is coming up on us fast. We talked to Lofty last week, and today we've got the one and only, not only co-founder, but also Chief Marketing Officer of Cloze, Alex Coté. Hi, Alex. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing well. Great to meet you, Russ. Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.
Pleasure to meet you too. Thank you for being here. So we've got a lot of people with a lot of questions, and there's a lot of different things that fly around with regard to CRMs. You know, some of them are good for single agents, some of them are good for teams. Give me a quick overview. Like, what is the sweet spot for Cloze?
Yeah, it's funny. We started Cloze a while back, and one of the things that we hated about CRM is just how much work they are. I've always described CRMs as these empty boxes where we've got to put everything in it, or empty filing cabinet, first name, last name. You just don't get much into it. So it tends to be a lot of work for not so much out of it. So a lot of agents start off and then they stop because they're like, ugh, this is terrible. In fact, we did a study and we found that the vast majority of the people you interact with as an agent never end up in your CRM. So it's pretty painful. Who loves busy work? So that's really why we started it. And really our method was, how do we eliminate that? And so for us, it was about adding automation. So eliminating any kind of data entry you had to do. So with Cloze, some agents have figured out they can connect their email, connect their real phone number, and we're going to track all that activity for them automatically. So all their calls, texts on their real phone number, they don't even have to be in Cloze, and we're keeping track. So just getting rid of all that stuff really makes the experience very different.
The hardest part for most agents is getting stuff in the CRM. Yeah, totally. Right. So by connecting to your phone and connecting to your email, that's actually going to gather the contact and the contact info.
Yeah, it's like the reverse of what you expect. Most people start with contacts. We actually start with communications because that's the lifeblood, right? It's all about relationships.
That's what I like to do.
Yeah. So who likes to enter data? We have conversations in real estate. So that's where we started, and we reverse it. So what we get is the 88% of people that you talk that never get into the CRM land in Cloze. And so we take all that information and we get it in there, and then we derive contacts. We also take contacts in, obviously, and deduplicate, but it means you get your entire sphere. So very different experience. And then, as we all know, we've been talking a lot about AI lately. When you have a lot of data, you can do a lot of interesting things with that data on behalf of the agent. So that's different, very different experience.
Interesting. So give me an example of that. So, okay, AI, like I'm not super tech savvy. I would probably be more typical agent related. I can do some stuff, but it's not like I wake up in the morning going, I can't wait to play with my computer.
Right.
I'm a people guy, right? So what does that look like?
Yeah. So it's kind of funny. So when all this ChatGPT stuff popped on the scene, everybody's like, "Ooh, you got to get AI." I was like, "We've been doing AI for years, guys." Yeah. So a lot of good AI is just subtly behind the scenes. So a good example is we analyze your communications and we understand deeply who you know and who you know well. If you get out of touch with anybody, we're just going to automatically put them right back in front of you. So surfacing those people that matter. So a really good example of how you use communication data and artificial intelligence to be more like a personal assistant or a coach working on the side.
Okay, so this thing has the ability to flag the things and the people that you need to talk to the most. Yes?
Exactly. And so because it's going back way back in time, as far back as we can go, we're going to even find clients. And that's where we get these amazing stories where an agent goes, "I don't know how you figured this out, but you surfaced a client of mine 10 years ago. I kind of forgot about them. You put them back in front of me and they were ready to buy or sell." We get those stories because every agent comes in, they're kind of skeptical. They're like, another tool. I've heard of a million tools, right? And then they come in, they're like, "Okay, Alex said to try it out and look at my agenda and look at some of those people Cloze surfacing." And they're like, "I got a deal out of it." So nice. Really simple case, something we were doing from the beginning, but a really good example of AI helping you out.
Excellent. So it's funny enough. I just wrote a book. It's going to be going live like next week. We're doing the actual launch of this thing. Right. And one of the things my guy behind the scenes is doing, he's like, you got to get into X. You got to get on X because of whatever we're going to do with that. Right. And I just log in and it's like 1,573 contacts in my phone. And I'm like, that's a lot of freaking contacts.
Yep.
And by the way,
they're everywhere. They're everywhere. You got contact information everywhere.
So that's a scenario where this is a type of program that would actually be able to start plugging that stuff in and start data mining basically my own stuff. That's brilliant. I love that.
Yeah. It just mines the entire sphere. And because look, we have contact information everywhere. And as a human, can you get through all of it? And we get people like, "I want to start alphabetically and go through." You're going to go through 1,500 contacts, Russ?
No.
Guarantee you're not.
No, right? No. Let's be clear. No.
Yeah.
All right. So does Cloze include a website?
We do not. In fact, we partner with a lot of website providers. And, I think one of these things, I honestly think, I just had this conversation with somebody before this call and about the importance of websites. And it's interesting. I think it's more about the personal brand. And I say, go get the best looking website that's about your brand, but you don't necessarily need a website to do IDX and do search and all that. There are lots of great tools. You have Access with Zenlist. It's an amazing co-browsing tool. Use that. That's much more personal and all that syncs right into Cloze. So for us, what we do differently is we integrate with a lot of partners on that front, but we also can capture leads that come out of your website and funnel them right into Cloze. And we do that right out of your email, again, using AI. So you don't have to worry about it. They get in there, nothing gets missed. You get automatic nurture campaigns and things like that. So pick the website you love, keep using it. And then we bolt on as a really, really best of breed CRM that can help you manage those leads.
It's kind of funny because I've had this conversation with people before and they're like, "I'm spending all this time on this." And I'm like, as a coach, I would say, like, "When was the last time you got a deal?" And you're like, "I got the deal because I went to your website," and the answer is typically none. Right. Yeah. So that's not how people are communicating. They're not going to look for your website. They're trying to find you, and they're typically more going to find you on social, and they're going to find you on your phone and find you out doing things like playing pickleball. Right. That's how the
community. Yeah, it's a community. And so when we talk about sphere selling, and we're the brand standard CRM for brands that really do focus on sphere selling. So Corcoran, Sotheby's International Realty, Windermere, these are all brands that really focus on that. And that's what they teach their agents. And if you look at the NAR studies, they all say most of your deals come out of your sphere. Vast majority. So I agree. Focus on that. Cloze will run alongside you, nurturing your entire database, all the people you ever interacted with, and put them back in front of you. So you're staying in flow. That's where your deals come from. And so we have great email marketing and all this beautiful stuff. We got amazing integration with Canva that we've been showing off. But it comes down to relationships. And so our job is to really help you scale authentically with your sphere. And so
Yeah.
that's our sweet spot.
So the cool part is with us having Canva Pro as a standard for every one of our agents, that integrating with what you guys do is absolutely fantastic. Hey, by the way, a point that probably needs to be made, like you're not the new guy to the party. You've been doing business with a bunch of EXP agents over the years, which is how you ended up at the table to be a potential choice. We've got a bunch of EXP agents that already use you. Isn't that right?
Yeah. So one of the things that was different about us is we started on mobile. So we started on iPhone and Android.
That was my next
That's where
question.
we started from the beginning.
Wow.
And that's how we kind of got dragged into real estate. So we were solving, like founders, we solve problems we have. We had a specific problem. I came from outside the real estate industry, and so did my co-founder, Dan, the same thing. And so we're trying to solve a problem, and real estate agents started showing up on our doorstep, and that's how we got all in on real estate. But those individual agents come from all walks of the world, of the real estate world, and also globally. Like some of our first real estate customers were from overseas. They came to us and said, "Hey, I got a brokerage here. It's a good sized brokerage in Greece." And he said, "They're all using your thing. They found it in the App Store. How do I get this for everybody?" So this is the power of global networks and distribution of Apple and that thing. But it really stresses the importance of mobile in real estate. Most of you don't sit behind a desk all day long, so you need all the functionality on your phone, right? So we actually had to go to desktop. Was the second thing. So everything you can do on your phone, you can also do on your desktop. Same functionality, real dedicated apps. But that's how we got a lot of individual agents that were using EXP in all walks of life. They just show up on our doorstep, sign up, and get going. So we really stress making it easy to use right out of the gate.
That's absolutely fantastic. I know it's kind of funny because my wife is like, "I don't know how you use Facebook on your phone." I'm like, "I don't know how you use Facebook. I don't even know how to get into Facebook on my computer because it's not how I interface with the thing, right?" So I think the same thing with CRM. The past CRMs I've had, they're all desktop based or function best on desktop. And you're saying like, "Hey, why not?" You started mobile and you got the best of mobile, which is great because like I'm driving around in my car and I'm stopped waiting for something. And like, I'm on my. It's a great time to be able to keep up and move things around. And that's when I have time to do it, or watching the kids play soccer or play, all of that. That's a brilliant way to.
That's part of your sphere too, right? That soccer team, right? That's who you should be talking to.
Exactly.
We always get this funny thing. I always get the stories, get the agents. "I don't want the soccer team in my database." I'm like, "Aren't you in real estate? Don't you want to?" So, but your point of those little bits in time is really how we've designed Cloze, because we create an automatic, we call it an agenda, and it's going to keep those, it's going to have those keep in touch reminders, it's going to have birthdays, purchase anniversary, sale, all these things you can do to stay in flow. But you may not get it all done at the beginning of the day. We like routines. We all coaches recommend routines, but you have that moment. Okay, take a couple of things. I'll send a couple of happy birthdays. I can do it on my phone and keep going my day. It's all organized for you, so you don't have to go hunting for it. And that simple change, a lot of CRMs, you have to go find stuff, create a list, work through my list. We just tee it up and then you just work through it and move on with your day. I don't want you spending hours in Cloze. 15, 20 minutes a day, you're golden.
Perfect. Man, it sounds like you're speaking my language, brother. All right. Anything else that we absolutely need to know about Cloze? It's been 10 minutes blows by, doesn't it?
Yeah, it goes by fast. Yeah. I mean, so for us, look, we're a very open platform. We integrate with all kinds of things. We deeply integrated with the EXP system. So things like the opt-out, the do not call list, all listings come into Cloze automatically. I mentioned that really deep integration with Canva. The really cool thing about that is the listings will come in automatically to Cloze. One click, you can create all kinds of Canva materials. They call it auto-filled. And so working with marketing right now to get all those approved, but single click creates all your listing documents, Facebook ads, Instagram, whatever you got, all filled, no drag and drop, no work at all.
Gotta love that. All right, cool. So, hey man, like you got somebody's attention listening to this today. So where can we find more? You guys are doing training, right?
Yep. Doing training twice a week throughout all the way till September. You're going to get to see my mug on there occasionally. We're doing it on Mondays and Wednesdays at 12 p.m. Eastern time.
Okay. And where is that?
So that's I host these. We've been hosting them in StreamYard into EXP World and on YouTube live stream.
Okay, awesome. Sounds good. Well, Alex, absolutely a pleasure. Great to get to know you. First time talking about Cloze. So hey, I love what you're doing, brother. That sounds like a great way to go. So thank you.
All right, appreciate it, man. Great talking, Russ.
All right. Bye-bye. All right, there you go. Cloze. So we learned about Lofty last week. We learned about Cloze this week. And next week, we're going to be talking to Bolt Trail. which is the third CRM of choice. Make sure you guys jump in and check out the schedule for when you guys can do training on that. They're doing training every single week now until September. All right, next up, Leo Pareja with Helena from Luxury Homes. Leo, take it away, brother.
Helena, thank you so much for joining us on the Big Agent Meeting. I like showcasing agents who've had an amazing career and year. We've been in a low inventory environment with low transaction count for a couple of years now, but you still continue to succeed. And again, take us start from the beginning. Tell us how you got into the business. But then I want to unpack how you got to where you're at. So if you can just jump in to start off by telling us a little bit of what your business looked like in 2024 and then what got you into the business.
Oh, okay. So the 2024, so my business, I am a single individual agent, solo agent. So I sold 100 million by myself in 2024 with one team member, which is my assistant. So I realized, 2024, so it requires an agent to be more strong in the mindset, and also we need to pay more attention on the our goal. Especially we need to review our goal more frequently than ever, and also we need to be more deep knowledge. We need to have a deeper knowledge to understanding the market trend, the market data.
And so when did you get into the business? When was your first year in the business?
My first year is back to 2017.
And how many transactions did you sell in year one? And when did you have that moment where you exponentially grew?
Okay, so my background is this. So I moved my home from England to America back to 2015. So I started my business from 2017. So I used to be working in the banking area, so the bank and also the technology field. And so from 2017 is my first year, started as being a salesperson. The first year I sold 26 homes. And the second year I couldn't remember how many homes I sold, but the second year is my first time to hitting the $1 million income.
It's amazing. That's very uncommon. What would you give credit to that? Where does that come from? Because that is far, far above the averages of this in the city.
Yeah, correct. Okay, so the first year when I sold the 26 home is mainly coming from the word by word. So I talk to any person I met every day. So for example, so my first transaction came from the coffee shop. So every morning I go to the Starbucks. So when I go to Starbucks, so I talked to the lady. So and later I realized the lady's husband is working in the WeWork, is a VP by that time. So I started, I started showing my knowledge, and also I started explaining so what it looks like if they started doing the investment, and what is the return, what is the cap rate, what is the rental. So they getting engaged, and this is my first transaction. And later on, so I started talking to any person when I drop my children. For example, every day I take my children go to the tennis, and also I take my daughter go to ballet. So I just connecting with the parents from any facilities. So this is how I get my 26 transactions from first year.
And then did you build upon that? Did you pivot? Have you explored other? I mean, you've been one of our top solo agents in the company. How did that jump happen?
Okay, so it's mainly I find the selling is direct sales. So we have to engage the conversation individually, one by one. This is how I build my business. Still keeps happening every single year. The only difference is my database is getting larger. So from the first year, I don't have any database. So from my second year, I started realize, okay, I need to start generating more business from the existing customers. So this is a foundation. So I build up my database from the second year, and I just keep repeatedly working on my existing clients. And also I continue to talk to the strangers, any person I met every day. So I give you an example. So for the second year, so I set up the goal. I need to hit the 1 million GCI. So my goal is at least I need to finish like at least 45 transactions. So my goal is there. So I need to look at my ratio, see how many people I need to talk to every day. So minimum every day I need to talk to 5 people. But the 5 people is not just a surface talk. It's an in-depth conversation. So this
And
is the whole.
Helena, let's pause right there because what you said is so powerful. And one of the things I say to agents all the time is you can control activity, you just can't control results, right? So
Correct.
you figured out that you can say, hey, rain or shine, no matter what happens, I'm going to have X number of conversations, right? I think a lot of agents will do the dials to feel good about themselves, to check the box. Yeah, I made my phone calls today. But that doesn't mean anything. At the end of the day, it's conversations. And so give us examples of who were you calling and what were you talking about?
Okay, so my database is very, very clean. So because I just moved to England here, so I don't know any person. I have no friends. I don't know neighbors. So the only person I know is my clients. So the first year, 26 transaction, 26 clients is the clients I started working on. So I work on every single clients. I call them on the second year, ask them what is their feedback after 1 year in the moving the new home, because it's my first year purely buying. So I never selling home in the first year. So I talk to the clients, ask them how they feel. So of course they tell me they are very happy with new home. So I will getting into deep. I will ask them, do they know any person like in the work or in the church or in the friendship? Do they know any person? I specifically mention this area. So otherwise they don't think about it. So I say, do you know any person in your work? Where do you work? They say, okay, I work in Microsoft. So I say, do you know any person in your team? They are looking for buying a home. So I'm here. I want to provide my best knowledge to your colleague, just like I provided the information to you. So that's how I get in referral business from my second year.
This is the important question. So let's fast forward 3 to 5 years from now.
Yeah.
What will your business look like? Is it more units, more volume? Is it the same with more leverage and more time off? What if we looked back and we fast forward the movie, 3 to 5 years from now, what does winning look like for you and your family?
Yeah, so that's a very exciting question, and also this is our our 5 years plan. So we are building too. So from this year we started already. So I started offloading more of my time to building a team. So I give you a brief introduction. So I moved my home from a very common, very average neighborhood to the most expensive neighborhood within 2 years. After 2 years, I'm in the business. So the reason why, because I want to service the luxury homes, right? So the luxury home is not only about the price, it's about the service. So that's why I moved to this neighborhood. I'm just next to the Bill Gates and Jeff Bezos. So I want to understand, for these billionaires and for these rich people, what kind of service they need. So that's why I spent 5 years here to understand the rich people's mindset. So they really need the people very into services in a very high level. So this is how I build up my network in this neighborhood. What I'm doing right now, so I'm started teaching the agent how to improve themselves, focus on improve their own skills, and service the clientele they want to service, not another way around. So lots of people, I realize that they want to big dollar, but they don't really work on themselves to improve the services and also feel passionate about servicing this type of clients. So I give you an example. So I teach my agent. I say, okay, let's go to sell these 4 million homes. And then the agent tell me, I don't like this kind of people. They feel like arrogant. I say, okay, so if you don't feel comfortable with this type of the price range, so don't work on this price range. So that's how I started teaching. So like, because of this ESP platform, I just started opening, like hiring more downlines and also hiring more agents into my downline. So I can, customize teaching them how to find the right clientele. They feel passionate about servicing them. And also they will have passionate, improve their own skills day by day. This is like a long-term goal, like a marathon.
Amazing. Well, congratulations on all your success. It's been amazing to watch, and I know you're just getting started with us, so I can't wait to see what new heights you go to. And if you choose to build a team, which, by the way, I'm very clear about this, teams aren't better, right? This is the highest margin you'll ever have, Helena. If you choose to build a team, your margin only goes down. Your units of volume go up, but your margin goes down.
Correct.
And so I always encourage people, the right size team is the one you want for the lifestyle you want for you and your family, right? So I always encourage real estate agents and team leaders to start with the end in mind. Work towards how much time you want, how much net income you want, and not the other way around.
Yeah, correct. And also I built up some like a nonprofit organization here. I want to inspire more people, not just agents. So because we as an immigrant, so we migrated to England as an immigrant, and later we migrated to America as an immigrant. So we understand, so as long as you have a dream, but you need to put your head down to do the work every day from morning, like from 6 until 9 in the evening. So every day is same. So there's no luxury look. Every day is about hard work. But as long as you have a dream, and as long as you have passionate, and then put on the plan and just execute, so everybody can have the dream become true.
Perfect. Well, I think that's a perfect place to end. Thank you so much for sharing with me and sharing with the agents.
All right, Leo, thank you very much for that. Hey, good information always, and great to see you guys having that conversation. Luxury homes is a big deal, man. Everybody says, I want to be in luxury. Now you guys got some more info to do that. All right, so next up, we have Bryon Ellington with Livia Petraru. Hopefully I got that right. Correct me if I didn't get that one right. Talking about social media. Take it away, Bryon Ellington.
So Livia, thank you so much for being with us today. We really appreciate it. Would you mind starting with just a brief introduction so folks understand the journey that you've been on and where you're at in your real estate career?
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to share my knowledge and my real estate journey. As we know, real estate is not easy, guys. It can be very bumpy, and if it was easy, everybody would do it. So a little bit about me. I grew up in communist Romania for about 20 years, my first 20 years of life. And I came to America with $400 in my pocket and a suitcase full of dreams. Had different jobs, but then about 5 years ago, I decided to get my real estate license just to get freedom, right? Freedom of schedule, freedom of money. I figured, let me just show a couple of houses during the weekend and make a bunch of money. They didn't go quite like that, but I did join a team in 2020, the #1 team in EXP, guys, the Veronica Figueroa team. And I did really good there. There were a lot of leads. And then when I left, I started my video journey, and I've been blessed with about 45,000 followers on Instagram. I have a team of 7 agents, and we get hundreds of leads and inquiries just from our videos every single month.
Wow. 45,000 followers on Instagram.
And growing. We're going on 50,000. It's hard to keep track.
And so that's how I got to meet you. As Veronica actually was bragging about you at the regional rally and what you've been doing. And so she was kind enough to make the introduction. I want to ask you a lot about that, because I feel like if you aren't doing social media these days, you are missing out on one of the biggest forms of lead generation that you could possibly do. And free. So 45,000. How long did it take you to build that, and how did you build that?
That's a great question. I did a lot of trial and error. So back at the Veronica Figueroa team, we had John Cheplek as a coach, and him and Veronica would always tell us, hey, video, that's the future. And they would have this saying, my crappy video is better than your non-existent video. So that was the mentality. And I started posting videos. Initially, I was the digital mayor, right? I was posting about everything, you name it, restaurants, builders, home tours, buyer success. And I only had like about 700 followers for like 2 years. We do open houses, door knocking, cold calling. I started focusing on video, one video every single day. And if I did nothing that day, I had to do that one video. And then I also niched, instead of posting everything about everybody, I started niching on new construction property tours. That's kind of what I stumbled upon. And I saw what worked, and whatever worked, I doubled down on. And now if you look at my page, it can be quite boring because it's just property tours. That's all I do. No educational content. Is I get property tours, and I sometimes get 100, 200 inquiries on a video. And I funnel them through the automation. Anything else doesn't work, guys. So I don't know. I post about my personal life in the stories. I put my dogs a little bit here and there, but not on the main feed. That's what I discovered.
Yeah, and I want to ask you about the posting, because I see agents taking different avenues, and all successful. But I see that avenue that you just mentioned, posting about property tours, especially successful in attracting out of town buyers. Is that true for you as well?
Absolutely. So many relocations, because the people in New York, California, they don't really know. So if they come to my page and they see 100 property tours, they're like, oh my God, Livia has a lot to offer. She's an expert. She has a lot of listings, even though they're not my listings. They're the builders.
Right. So talk to me, before we make the post, we're going to go make the video. So, and then we got to deal with the first thing that trips most people up is, I don't like the way I look. I don't like the way I sound. Did you deal with that at all yourself?
I absolutely did. I remember the first videos that I would make in a property tour. I would just be so nervous and sweating that my only solution was I would take a deep breath and say one sentence. Take a look at this pool behind me. And then I would hide and then film the pool. You know, I was literally terrified. Yes. Yeah. That was like in 2020 when I started. And then it got better and better and easier. And then, of course, you think people are judging you. What are your friends going to say? But then you got to ask yourself, are your friends going to be upset when you get like a 15,000 commission from a video? Or are you going to be upset? Are you going to care about what they say? So yeah, first videos were not easy. They weren't perfect. They were pretty crappy. But then you push through and you get better and better by making mistakes and by learning. And a lot of times I don't have a videographer and I don't have an editor. I still do that myself to this day. And it's very, very quick and easy. So sometimes I'll go to the builder and I will ask the sales rep to hold the phone in front of the camera, in front of the house and in front of the kitchen. And then I do like a little B-roll of the house, and there you go. That's my free videographer.
Okay. So, and that's the format of the video then is you have some sort of talking segment where you're, I think, probably describing the property, but then you're then walking around the property, and are you narrating as you do?
So what I do, and actually our viewers can go to my Instagram page, it's Livia_sunshine_group to see how I do them. What I do recommend, definitely show your face. You can do a blank property tour without your face, but you are the brand. So if you're camera shy, I want you to just be in front of the house waving. That's the least you can do. So they see you with the house. I like to say a couple sentences in front of the house, couple in the kitchen. And then what I do, I go with the camera and I film the best segments of the house. You don't need closets or bathrooms necessarily. I would just do maybe the kitchen as a focal point. If there is a pool, maybe the master bedroom. You want to keep the timing around anywhere between 30 seconds to a minute. Don't put it too long. So you don't need a lot. I film my reels within 5 minutes. You know, and then I edit. Editing takes a little time, but yeah, it's very quick when you film.
Okay. And when you're doing this, aside from the details of the property, are there some kind of standard elements that you're always saying, call to action, or, describing who you are, where you live for the algorithm and things like that?
Right. So what I do, the hook is very, very important. And I actually put together a course that has like the 14 elements of a viral reel that attracts the leads, the buyers and sellers. Number one, I pay attention to the hook, visual hook, mention the location, whether it's new build by Disney, new build by Kissimmee, put the area. The last 5-6 seconds, for sure, add a call to action. We kind of tell them, hey, comment a keyword. Comment pool, comment build, and then whoever comments, and sometimes it can be like even one video got like 2,000 comments, people inquiring about it. And then we let our automation kind of give them information. So yes, call to action. And I like to focus on the neighborhood. So if you will narrate over the video of the house, I would just tell them, hey, this builder is close to the Olympus project, $19 billion. Restaurants, dining, airport. So focus on the community versus like, here's the kitchen, here's the sink,
Yeah. And you said visual hook. Are you referring to the thumbnail? What's typically the thumbnail image that you'll use for your videos?
So for the thumbnail, I would just post the video. And then when I edit the thumbnail, I just kind of pick it up from the video. You can move the cursor. And I normally select me with the house in the back and the location, right? So people see that, hey, there's the lady selling the houses in that city. So that's sort of the visual hook. And then don't linger too much on one area because people scroll and they lose their attention. So I try to work in 5-second frames. 5 seconds in a location and then move it to another side.
Got it. And you mentioned the automation, comment this. Are you using ManyChat?
Yes. So ManyChat is a big part of our funnel. We also use Zapier, obviously KV Core. We also do text the word keyword and they end up in the CRM. So we have different avenues.
So you've got automation that as soon as they text that keyword, it's giving them whatever you promised to give them, but it's then also taking them into your, I think you said KV Core.
Correct. Yes. Through a Zapier automation, we do that. And then from KV Core, they get worked on by the text message campaigns, by the email drip campaigns, and all that good stuff.
Yeah. And by the way, those of you watching this, if you've not played around with Zapier or In8In, these are amazing tools that allow for a lot of things that you're doing that are tedious tasks, that are repetitive, that can be automated and off your plate. So that's really cool that you've set that up. So, so you're doing these videos, and you said you do these in builders, open houses, and model homes, and also inventory as well.
Correct.
Are you just going? And you said you're doing one a day. Is that 5 days a week, 6 days a week, 7 days a week?
So right now I have a lot of videos. Honestly, I probably have so many videos from the past that I don't need to film for 6 months. So I'm in a different situation. But for some, and you can recycle them too. A lot of agents don't know that. They think, oh, but I showed that 3 months ago. Well, guess what? When you showed it, probably only 200 people saw it. And now there's a whole new audience.
Yeah.
For somebody new that's filming, I definitely recommend get yourself a video buddy, an accountability buddy from the office, because you can kind of hold the camera, inspire each other. And I would batch the content, maybe one day block 4 hours and go to 3 builders and get the 3 videos. Or from one tour, you can also do like 10-second snippets of the kitchen and still promote the property and recycle that content. So there's different ways.
You're doing multiple videos off of one property then?
You certainly could too, yes. So you could do like one full video, and then since you have it edited, then you can maybe chop it up in 15 seconds each and then post that in different days, just so you have your content going. And basically the algorithm on Instagram, if you post for 30 days, and you don't have to post every day because that's tough, right? But if you post for 30 days, the algorithm recognizes you as an official creator, and they will start showing you to outside audiences more.
You have a course. I know we kind of scratched the surface, but I know you go a lot deeper. If people wanted to learn more about what you're doing and how to do it, where would they go to find you?
Yes, so I basically created a course after doing 1,000 videos, after failing about, the first 700 didn't really bring much. but then cutting into my niche and the strategy and the hooks. So I put all that in a video course. And I also created another one with all my automation. I call it the hot funnel machine. And it's all of our templates, the ManyChat, the Zapier. It literally, everything I've done in 6 months, you copy paste and you copy it on your screen. And I even have a team that can help you with the implementation if you want, if you're not tech savvy. But you can find my courses on my Instagram and the link in bio. My Instagram is Livia, Livia _sunshine _ and maybe we can put it somewhere. I don't know if we can put in a comment. I'm sure you guys just Google Livia Petraru, you'll find me.
Awesome. Well, Livia, thank you so much for coming on and sharing your hard-won wisdom with everybody. We really appreciate it.
Absolutely, it's been my pleasure.
All right, Bryon, thank you very much for that. Livia, thank you very much. Social media is so powerful if you're doing it right. It's not just for entertainment. It can actually be a business builder if you're doing it right. So thank you very much for that information. Great tips and great stuff you can put in your business right now. All right, so next up, we have Solutions, one of EXP Solutions. EXP has a whole bunch of people we partner with that we know do a great job to take good care of you, so you have resources. You don't have to figure out who's good at what they do. So Solution, Nikki Miller with Lever coming up next. Check this out.
Hey everyone, I'm Nikki Miller. I am the founder of Lever by Movoto, which is a first and only of its kind platform, very exclusively and specifically designed to comprehensively support the individual agent's business. And I've got two of our incredible agents on with me today who are kind enough to jump on and share a little bit about their experience. So thank you both so much for being here, Michael and Angela. And I want to start off by, I'm sure a lot of people are listening to this who are solo agents who are saying, I need help, but maybe I'm not even sure what I need or why I need it, or do I want to do more? Do I want to do more business or create more? So I'd love to hear from both of you. Michael, let's start with you. What made you join Lever in the first place? Like, what problem were you trying to solve, or what challenges were you having?
You totally Jerry Maguired me, because you had me at hello with your story. I was struggling at how to create more production, and I was maxed out on all the things, and I knew I had to leverage, and I started looking around at hiring a TC, but it wasn't just the TC, it was admin and database and all that stuff. And then while I was trying to juggle all that, I was just developing bad habits, and the added interest of having the coaching layover on top of all of this support was very helpful. So I would say that it was basically the TC, the marketing, the database, and the 2 hours of group coaching a week, and the option to have one-on-ones. That was what gave it to me.
Love that. And Angela, what about you? What problem did Lever solve for you? What challenges were you facing in your business that led you to arrive here?
Yeah, I instantly recognized the value of Lever. I mean, I feel like in real estate, you are asked to wear 10 different hats. You're supposed to do marketing, you're going to follow up on social media, all the while you've got paperwork to do and you're showing houses and taking care of your clients. And then you've got a database to follow up on. So there's no way as an individual agent that you're doing something not so well if you're trying to do all of that. And so I loved that Lever brought a team to the individual agent, and that I was going to have the help that I needed to scale my business. And at the same time, I was going to be able to keep my brand. And so that's what was really important to me.
It's funny, isn't it, you guys, how people always in real estate or in any business training, they'll say you got to focus on these couple things that you're good at and just maintain your focus and time block. And then you get into this business, it's like, oh yeah, you should do all of that, but also you have these other 5,000 jobs that you not only have to do, but you have to be pretty good at to be able to build anything that scales. It's a real challenge, right? That all of us, by the way, have been through in our growth trajectory and in our journey. What's been the most, now that you've both been in the platform for a while and you're starting to get results and you're starting to actually get a real experience, because a lot of these things, it's like, yeah, this sounds great in theory. Does it actually work? I'd love this time. Let's start with you, Angela. What's been the most impactful part of being part of Lever? What's been the biggest impact you've seen in your business?
I mean, there's so many things. I think that it's so well built. And I mean, that's because I feel like you were in the trenches with us. You are a realtor. You knew what we needed. But 3 specific things that have really helped me. I know what I'm good at and what I'm not good at. I'm good with people and negotiations. If you want me to design something in Canva, forget it. I'm there a day and I lost business, right? So for instance, I just had one of my first listings, and there is no way I would have spent time to send out 200 postcards. I already had a guy call me from that first listing and say, you sold my house around the corner. I want to list with you. So already a new client. Last week, my dad had a stroke. He was in the hospital for a week, and I had 4 closings. My TC was on top of it. There is no way for those closings I would have been able to handle the paperwork. And it allowed me to spend time with my family where I needed to be. So all of those things are impactful. And I'm telling you, the coaching, I've been in sales since I've been 15 years old. I've had a lot of teachers, but the coaching is so insightful and so current. And it's literally saved deals for me. So I can't say enough good things about Lever. Made a huge difference.
Thank you. So I'm hearing that you're growing the business through the marketing and the touch points, and also getting your life back, which is huge.
Which is huge.
What about you, Michael? What's been the biggest impact for you in your business?
One of the things is what you just did. In our coaching, you are always asking group, and you're the best listener of a leader I've ever had. Most leaders are leading us in a direction. Okay, this is where Michael needs to be, and this is where I need to take him. But you respond and you listen well. And I also, what has impacted me a lot is you don't have a pre-programmed way of leading us. Yes, we have a support team in marketing, and I have a concierge, and I have all these people that have a task. They can do those things. But whenever you engage us, you always are kind of that fish that swims at a different way. You don't just normally say what we think we want to say, and you're always asking us, well, you know what the right thing is to do. So you move us to that. But the combo basically of the marketing and the DB, and like Angela mentioned, I was at church a few weeks ago, and I had somebody who was an acquaintance, and they came up to me and they go, I got your postcard. And I'm looking at this person go, I'm not thinking real estate because I'm not in that mode. And they're like, I got your postcard, and I just wanted to let you know that I'm not ready to sell, and I'm not interested in that house. And I was like, oh, and the light bulb went on. I sent that card, but I didn't send that card. And that connection outside in the community that I got face to face was awesome. And the fact that the marketing team works with the database team to send out hundreds, and I have over 1,000 people on my DB, and thousands of emails a week go out. And I've seen an uptick in my Bold Trail engagement because of the DB team.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. And I know we're about to get the hook, so I'll rapid fire this one. As I often do in our coaching, like, tell me in as few words as possible. If I'm a solo agent and I'm looking at this and I'm saying, man, I can see it, but I might want to still do it on my own. Should I join Lever? Like, what should I do this? What would you both say to that person?
Absolutely. Sign up today. If you not joining Lever is like remaining stagnant or running in place, you're just not going to scale your business. You have to do it.
Yeah, I would say rapid fire would be if you don't have a plan and you're waiting for somebody to come and give you leads and do it for you, Lever's not right for you. If you're ready to leverage your business plan, if you're ready to leverage and move it up, the tools and the support team around you is amazing. And I just have to say that because I know that EXP doesn't define how I am a realtor, Lever doesn't define how I am doing lead gen. This marriage of EXP and Lever together is one of the best things I've seen Glenn and the team do at a high level for all the single agents. I feel like I have a team around me now, and thank you to EXP for making that relationship happen.
Yeah.
Well, thank you both for being here today. I know your time is so valuable, and I appreciate you taking the time to talk about Lever and to pour into the other agents and the Lever ecosystem and the EXPS ecosystem. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. We'll see everybody soon. Check us out at leverbymavoto.com.
Thanks, Nikki. Thanks, everyone.
All right, there you go. Solutions always bringing good stuff to us. Thank you, Nikki, for that. Thank you for the overview on what Lever does, and we can put that in our business. All right, so there you go. The show for today, Friday, June 20th. Stay tuned for the QR code here. Check it out. Give us a fair rating. Give us a rating on a scale of 1 to 10. Let us know how we did with the show today. And of course, always give us suggestions if you have anything you'd like to see on the show or something you'd like to see different. Let us know how we did today. We appreciate you guys all being here. So that's all for today, Friday, June 20th. Stay tuned. Coming up next, iConversations. See y'all next week.